Hi friends, it's Mr. Matt here with your children's sermon for today. When I was a boy, as I look back and I think about that time, I remember doing a lot of praying at night. I remember that my family would pray before we had our dinner together. And I remember praying and doing nighttime prayers. And because that's what my family did, that's when I would do my praying. I would always pray at the end of the day. It wasn't until I was an adult, really, that I was reading some of our stories from the Bible and realized that maybe that wasn't right. Maybe prayers just weren't for the nighttime. And our story about Jesus today, I think, reminds us of that. Now, you might remember from the story that Jesus and some of the disciples travel, and they go to the disciple Peter's house. And his mother is there, but she's sick. She's not feeling well. And so when they arrive, they find out about that. And Jesus goes to Peter's mother and says, "Be well." And he makes her feel better. And then she gets up and she is feeling great. And she starts doing all of the things that she would normally do when guests came to the house. And she starts serving them and taking care of them. And then that at sundown, when the Sabbath had ended, people have heard that Jesus has come to town. And so they go to their house and they're bringing people who need healing to Jesus, and they're trying to hear the words that he's saying. And so that night, Jesus does what Jesus does. He heals people and he teaches people. Then the next morning, when the disciples get up and they do their stretches and they're looking around, and Jesus isn't there. And Jesus had gotten up early in that morning and he had gone outside of the town to pray. And while Jesus is praying, people start showing up at Peter's house and saying, "Is Jesus here? Is Jesus here?" So the disciples go to look for him and they find Jesus out praying, and they say, "Hey, back in town, everyone's looking for you." And Jesus says, "Well, that's okay. We're going to move on to the next town because I've come to share this message that I have with everyone broadly. So we have to move on to the next town. We're not going to stay in this one place." But the thing that struck me when I was younger is that in this story, Jesus is praying first thing in the morning. And it made me think that maybe what I was doing of just praying at nighttime, that, was that wrong? Maybe I need to pray in the morning when I first get up. But then I kept looking around in the Bible and I kept looking other places, and come to find out, Jesus prays in the morning when he gets up. In other parts of the Bible, we have Jesus praying at night, going off to pray at night as the day is in. We have Jesus praying during the day when he encounters people that need things. He's talking to God all of the time, throughout all of the day. And that really struck me as prayer isn't something that's just for a specific time. Prayer is for all of the time. It's for talking to God about what's going on in your life. It's talking about what's going to come in the day ahead. It's looking back at what happened over the course of the day. It's looking ahead and asking for God's guidance and asking God, what would you have me do tomorrow? Prayer is for all of the time. And that was a lesson that I learned more like when I was an adult. But when I read our Jesus story today and was looking at it, I was reminded that prayer is for any time. And I thought I should share that with you so you have the chance to start practicing prayer all of the time, and not just when you sit down to bless the food before you eat, and not just when you say your nighttime prayers, but prayers all the time. And I thought that if I shared that with you now while you're young, I would save you having to wait to learn that lesson until later like I did. All right. I hope that you're doing well. I hope your families are healthy and safe. And I want you to remember how much you are loved. I want you to remember how much God loves you. I want you to remember how much your parish family loves you and misses you. And I want you to remember how much I love you too. I hope I get to see you real soon. But until then, God's peace to all of you. Bye for now.